Hey everyone, today I want to talk a little bit about inversions or inverted chords or slash chords. You might recognize these chords from a chord chart you've come across playing guitar with a worship band or a worship team. They look like G slash B or D slash F sharp or a couple of common ones. And I remember when I was first beginning to learn how to play guitar, playing with worship bands, and I'd see these chords and just had no idea what they meant. I was a little bit intimidated by them. They just looked like fancy chords. But I realized it's really pretty simple. I've come to learn that what's happening here with this chord is the second note in that chord is intended to be played as the bass note for the chord. So typically when you play a chord like a G chord, the G note is the lowest note in the chord. But for a G slash B or a G over B, you take the B note, for instance it could be this B here on the second fret, and you play that as the lowest note in the chord. And what's happening there is it's just creating a different chord voicing. It's creating some nice harmony over the melody that you're singing, and a lot of times the bass player will play that note or the keyboard player will play that note, but guitar players don't need to be left out. They can play these inverted chords as well. And what happens is a lot of times you'll find really nice chord voicings and some kind of challenging, fun ways to play some different chords that you hadn't before. Alright, so I'm going to give you an example. This song is Lord I Need You, a great song, and it's got some really nice inversions in the chorus. So I'm going to play it for you and then talk through kind of what's happening here. Lord I need you, oh I need you, every hour I need you, you're my one defense, my righteousness, oh God, how I need you. Alright, sounds pretty good. So what's happening here, we're in the key of G, and to start off with, we've got a couple of familiar chords, G, C, G, and then this D over F sharp, which is just a regular D chord with an F sharp note in the bass, and I played that by using my thumb on the low E string on the second fret. And that's a nice walk down into the E minor. C, G, D, and then here's where it gets fun. We've got a couple of neat inversions here. So we start with this G over B, which again is a regular G shape, but with the B as the bass note of this chord. So you can do this B on the second fret, and then C. I play this open C voicing, this traditional C voicing here, because I'm going to slide up into a G over D. Kind of a unique inversion, not one you see quite as often, 1 over 5. And how I'm getting this voicing is I'm taking, the G root 6 bar chord shape and just taking this little piece of it, and then using my ring finger to fret this D note here on the 5th string. The 5th fret, the A string. And so you get this nice, just kind of open sounding chord G over D, and then C over E. So this is a regular C chord but with an open E in the bass. And then back to my G over D, and then a regular D chord, but since I'm right here, I do this D voicing. Alright, so this is just a C chord up a full step. That's a really nice transition from this chord to this chord and then back to G. So what you're doing there is you're kind of creating a walking bass line, walking up and walking down. If you didn't play the inversions, you could just go back and forth between C and G, but it wouldn't sound quite as unique. And so we're going B, C, D, E, D, D, G. Alright, so let me play it for you one more time. You're my one defense, my righteousness, oh God, how I need you. Alright, so hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully that takes a little bit of the mystery out of these inversions when you come across them in your chord charts. And I just challenge you as a guitar player, maybe try to figure out how you can incorporate some of these chords as you're playing the songs. Good luck.